Joining me now is licensed CPA and accounting and finance professor over at Montclair State University, Dan Geltrude. Dan, good morning to you. I said it right off the top. Is today, do you feel like it's your Super Bowl? Like, are you juiced up about April 15th?
Well, glad it's going to be over. It's not like you're pumped up for the game or anything, but it is what it is. It comes every year, and we deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually, oddly, Johnny on the spot this year. That hasn't always been the case, but a lot of folks waking up this morning saying, you know what, life got busy. I've missed the boat today. What are their options today, Dan?
Well, if you're not ready to file your tax return because it's not complete, you have that option to file an extension, which gives you an additional 6 months to file your tax return. Now, here's the important part, is that it's only an extension to file the return. All of your taxes are actually due today. So you still have to analyze your information and determine whether you have a tax liability because you need to make that payment. Now, if you're going to file the extension, you have two options. You can file it by paper or file it electronically.
Yeah.
I want to point out, if you're going to file by paper, make sure you're sending that registered mail so you have proof of filing and you could avoid any situation where there could be penalties for failure to file on time.
Yeah, and when you say, you know, doing it by paper, I think a lot of people, you know, very basic question here, but where do you get that extension, you know, file and document?
Sure, it's Form 4868, and you can download it from the IRS, which is IRS.gov, so you can get the form there.
Okay, 4868. We'll share that widely. As you know, Dan, the IRS has been in DOJ's crosshairs. The department has cut thousands of jobs. They've tried to shutter more than 100 offices across the country. Do you see that impacting things at all, or how quickly people are getting their returns this year?
Well, I think it could, because having less personnel at the IRS, you're definitely going to have a challenge of slower processing. You're also going to have a situation where you have reduced taxpayer support. So many people are calling the IRS for guidance, and there's no one to answer the phone. So there's definitely some challenges there with the reduction of personnel at the IRS.
Yeah, and people stress about this day every single year. What does your crystal ball say, Dan? Because it seems like we always hear on the campaign trails, they're going to simplify the tax code. It should be simplified so it's easier to file. Is that going to happen, or have the TurboTaxes of the world and the industry around filing, you know, just become too big and want it to be complex?
Well, I don't know about wanting it to be complex per se, but what I do believe is this. In Congress, they want to have the ability to make people do certain things or not do certain things. And the tax code is used to move people in different directions depending on what the incentives are, tax-related, or the de-incentives. So I don't particularly see right now that there's going to be a dramatic change in the complexity of filing.
Okay. We will see what comes in the future. But Dan Geltrude, always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, happy tax day to you.